talk about Stewart-Haas, caught again.
Yep.
Last year, nailed big time on Chase Briscoe's car that basically took him out of any chance of making the playoffs outside of a win. This time, the number 10, that's Noah Gragson, and the 41 of Ryan Preece, both nailed for a roof air deflectors penalty.
Mm-hmm.
They both get a loss of 35 points. And, start the year, yeah, there's time to climb out of that. But, Deb, that's, still, we saw what points penalties did to these guys last year, probably cost William Byron, the regular season championship.
Yeah, and, I don't think they think about that at the time. They're just thinking, what can we do to get the slightest advantage with these cars because they're so close. And those air deflectors on the roof go down each side of the roof from the front to the rear, and they're looking at playing with the air there and maybe creating more downforce, less downforce, depending on what their numbers show. And but then you get to the end, and was it worth it? Was the trouble worth the trouble? So you have to ask yourself that, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what was wrong with those air deflectors. Were they just not positioned right?
Yeah, there are certain areas that NASCAR views as you cannot mess with it. Number one is safety. Number two is the air, because they know how important aerodynamics is to the overall performance of the car. So in some ways, I could see why NASCAR comes down so hard when teams start trying to find ways to improve the air or improve their downforce or lessen their downforce, whichever direction they want to go in. I can't help but think that it wasn't that long ago that Stewart-Haas Racing was considered one of the standard bearers of NASCAR Cup Series racing, and look what it's like now.
And this is this like the third straight? I mean, it seems like this is the third straight year they've had. This is an L1 penalty, not the most serious of penalties, but still, this is a points penalty. And, Briscoe last year, and I'm trying to think, there was something again. Was it something Harvick was penalized for the year before? I mean, it seems like this is the third straight year. Was that with the rear window was sagging? Was that 2 years ago?
Probably. It, and it's just trying to get an edge is what they're trying to do. And like Bruce said, they know what areas they will allow them to work in and what they won't allow them to work in because of the air. And you're going to have more of what that air can do at the super speedway races or super speedway style races. What will be interesting to see is since Phoenix will be the first short track rules package, is if anybody will try to tinker with that, because that's where Hendrick got hit so hard last year, was at Phoenix. So it will be interesting to see if we have as many violations come out of Las Vegas and Phoenix as we had come out of Atlanta.